Play another Golem. Yes, I'll play a One Ring. And now it's your turn. All right, today we are playing some Jewel. We are stocking up on Jewels. In fact, this is a new card from Aetherdrift. It is a lot more powerful than it looks. There are a number of cards that are similar to this, but just none of them quite do all of these things, right? You got pieces of the puzzle that only gets instants and sorceries, and sure, it puts it in your graveyard, the rest of the cards that you don't choose, which can be beneficial for something like Gift Storm. But, and certainly for this deck, that's not exactly what we're looking for. There's, I think, another one that gets artifacts and colorless spells, or just artifacts, whatever it is, but that's also insufficient for us. And then, of course, there is Brain Surge, which is a great card, but we can't really leverage the shuffle effect that you would need for it. And on top of that, you're drawing cards. This card does not draw cards. It finds two and puts them in your hand. So things like Narset, things like Bowmasters, they don't actually stop this card. And what this card has allowed us to do is play 27 blue cards effectively, play Chrome Mox effectively, and still leverage Force of Will even better than before. And play an even lower land count while still having better and faster and more consistent mana. Now, why is that the case? Well, previous to stock up, we just didn't really have an action card that fit in that slot. And something like 16 lands is way too dicey for a deck that's trying to resolve 6 drops, 4 drops. It is a little bit fragile, so you need to play a higher land count, which gives you clunkier draws, fewer blue cards, too many lands, not enough lands, that sort of thing. Whereas, since we have stock up, we can play something like Chrome Mox, which will allow us to accelerate. Sure, you lose card advantage, but then you gain it back with stock up, so you wind up going even on cards if you use a Chrome Mox to cast your stock up. But you accelerate, and you dig so deep that you can find the things that you don't have. So as long as you have, say, a Soul Land and a Chrome Mox in your opener, you can even use Petal, honestly, to turn one stock up, which, of course, you go down a card to then go back up a card, so you're not going up any cards, but it kind of feels like a double cantrip, where you just use 2 cards to get some selection. It's almost like you cast 2 Preordains for 3 mana, which obviously is not super powerful, but that's like the floor, right? I've even had spots where, like, in the Degenerate matchups, I have a Force of Will, I have another blue card, and I have stock up, and I turn one of stock up, and it finds another force and another blue card, which is not difficult when you're running 8 forces and, you know, upwards of 30 blue cards post board. It's really solid. And one of the reasons that previously we didn't play Chrome Mox and Force of Will together, or we tried but ultimately ditched it, was it's hard enough getting enough blue cards for this deck for Force of Will. So if you're using Force and Chrome Mox together, you really need a high blue count. Now, you'll notice I'm not playing Urza Saga. You could play a version with Urza Saga. I don't think there's room for the low land count that we want, the blue count that we want, the number of soul lands that we want. All of these things affect the other. When you add to one, you can only have so many things, right? So you could replace the City of Traders with Sagas, but then you're going down a bunch of soul lands. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. You could try a build with Nexus. However, typically that mana base requires 20 lands to get all the lands that you want. And I think Chrome Mox is kind of the key here, because stock up is slowing you down. You're playing a 3 mana card that's just getting cards, right? You are technically spinning your wheels. You're not actually doing anything. You're just going up on card advantage. So I do think it's important to have explosive turn ones. There are, of course, matchups where it is okay to go like Island Go, next turn Ancient Tomb, cast the stock up. Like, that's going to happen some number of the time. But with the addition of Chrome Mox, all the imprintables, and just having more action, I mean, that was one of the problems with this deck is that you have you're glued to all these copy effects, right? You have 4 Metamorph, 4 Transmute, 4 Copy Artifact, and they are conditional spells. Certain things need to be in place for them to actually do anything. Copy Artifact needs something to copy. Same thing with Metamorph. Transmute needs something to be able to transmute away, have the double blue, and have enough mana to get something that's meaningful. These can be difficult cards to set up. However, stock up, not the case. Definitely want to be playing 4 of it. It's going to set everything up. It's great off the top when you've run out of gas. Obviously, it pitches the Force Will. It imprints the Chrome Mox. Like, it's just everything that the deck wants. And not just that, but it shores up all of the things that the deck struggled with. Literally every single one of them. We get to, and I'll reiterate it one more time, we get to play less lands, yet have faster and more solid mana. We're allowed to play not just a few more blue cards, right? We've played as low as 17 before. I'm on 27 in the main. That's insane. We are more explosive thanks to Chrome Mox. We have a very high access to non-artifact blue sources. We currently have 3 islands, 4 sinks, 1 Odawara. We have 5 main deck bounce spells. And we just have more action in the deck. And, actually, I didn't mention, the sideboard, all the sideboard plans are all significantly more powerful as a result of this sort of build. You're going to be casting turn 1 defense grids more often. You're going to be casting turn 1 lodestones more often. You have more blue cards for your Force of Negation plan. You have more artifact fodder that Transmute Artifact can transmute away, which means you're going to be putting Defiler into play more often. I'm super pumped about this card. I'm super pumped about this build. I played 1 league with it last night. I went 4-0 into 4-1. The last match playing against Doomsday, who just had a million forces and Thoughtseizes and Duresses. It was insane. And the games were still extremely close. I did on stream try a couple other builds where I took previous iterations and just kind of crammed stock up in it. I tried it in the Brainstorm build, and I tried it in a more traditional no Chrome Mox show and tell build. And it was fine, but I think the key here is less lands, more Chrome Mox, and playing a full set of Sink into Stupor. I mean, honestly, you could easily go up to more blue cards. You could replace an island with Seagate Restoration. You could replace 2 islands with 2 Seagate Restorations and go up to 29 blue cards if you want. Would even be correct. I think I would want at least 2 islands. 3 does feel good as well. But other than that, I'm pretty set with this list. And very pumped for it, so I will see you in round 1. Alright, here we go, round 1 against Bacon. We're gonna keep this. It's a turn 1 Jewel, which is pretty funny. Obviously it's very all-in. Despite having almost half our deck blue cards, we have none of them. It would be a lot better on the play, and it's certainly not a typical Jewel hand, but depending on what they're doing, we don't have to slam Jewel immediately. Box Opal, Bobble, Lion's Eye Diamond. Alright, this is some sort of Gamble Storm deck. Probably the Epic Storm since it's playing Bobble. Yes, this is Jund Epic Storm. There goes our Jewel. So obviously we are really hoping to draw sort of action off the top. He said that's a lot of mana, my guy. Sure is. I wouldn't mind if he took some of it. Alright, they don't have an Echo follow-up. Yet, at least. Copy Artifact, huh? That would have been a really great draw. We could have jeweled. Play out the Petal. I guess I'm just gonna pass. Like, he could copy the Bobble, but doesn't seem fantastic. I'd have to use Petal. I could have played out my whole hand, but it doesn't look like they're echoing, so that's nice. Seem to be passing. Would love to draw something here. That is something. Kind of interesting. I imprint and use Petal to cast Grim Monolith. That's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. That's not quite enough. We are working towards it, though. If we win this by hard casting this Emrakul, it's going to be hilarious. In a spot like this, of course, it does feel great to have 4 stock up in the deck. If we draw a stock up, we probably win. Comes Chrome Mox. Printing a Veil. Playing a Cabal Writ. Another Cabal Writ. Siege. Infernal Tutor. Okay, so this is actually some sort of ad nauseum tendrils. It's some sort of mix, right? We're playing Infernal Tutor, which is not something that Bryant would be signing off on. They have a main deck Echo, they can get it. They didn't crack the LED, so they're not ad nausing or beseeching. Said, well, the lag didn't let me keep priority. Yeah, I mean, that's Moto. I don't know. I stream over 40 hours a week, and then I still play some outside of that. And I've never had lag ruin my holding priority. I can understand how it would. There's points where, like, if you let go for even a second, it'll no longer be holding priority. For instance, if you start paying costs for a spell, then hold down on the priority, just because you're holding it as you cast the spell, it's not going to register that. You have to make sure you hold it down before you start paying costs. And that sort of thing can certainly be more difficult to pull off if there's lag. We did, in fact, draw a stock up. Okay. I'm going to cast it off pedal. Because if I find Jewel... let's see. Didn't, but we did find a 1-ring and a Transmute and another stock up. I think this is a 1-ring Transmute situation. Yeah, we'll go any order. We can cast the 1-ring. I'm hoping we draw a blue source. Go Grim Monolith. Let's say I imprint copy artifact. No, that doesn't really do anything. Alright, I'll pass. Wonder what they got with the Infernal Tutor. Well, they drew a Mishra's Bauble. Okay, and now we're going to kill them. We're going to look at our draw. It's a Lotus Petal. Show and Tell. Alright, so let's play Petal. Imprint this Show and Tell. And Transmute. Let's go get a Jewel. 3. Play City of Traders. Copy Artifact. 3. Let's Transmute. Go get Paradox Engine. Play Copy Artifact. 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Bang. Emrakul. Go to our next turn. They draw a card. Let's Annihilate. Cool. Alright, game 2 against Storm. Our deck is extremely good against Storm. Play the Force of Negations, and although Lodestone is not perfect, it's still very good against them. We can cut the Emrakul. We can actually cut Moxen, and I think it's Show and Tell. Moxen and Show and Tell fight for blue cards. Moxen likes to imprint blue cards. Or not just blue cards, but they all require 2 cards, and it's possible we're going to be mulliganing, and we're going to be using forces, so we're going to be on low resources, and these cards just taking up 2 cards to do their thing is fighting for what the forces are trying to do. We do ultimately go up 1 blue card to 28, so that feels pretty good, and we'll just run it. All right, we got a force and we got a stock up. This is kind of that low floor that I was talking about with stock up, where you got a force, you got a bunch of blue cards. We could very easily go City Petal stock up, and it's almost definitely going to find another force. They have plenty of hands that, you know, give us trouble through a Force of Will here. Plus, they have Thought Seizes, like, you know, going to be a game. But stock up is looking pretty good here. Hopefully, we just drop 4 so I can play Sync and not cast the stock up yet. That's interesting too. Play out the Petal. I'm going to take a risk here and not cast stock up yet. Also, not having any sort of powerful play on turn 1 is a show of strength. Bottom a Bauble. Oh, they're playing Saga. Lion's Eye Diamond. Lotus Petal. Infernal Tutor. Cracking their lines of diamond. And best for them, they could empty with this. I'm gonna let them do this. If it's an empty, we can probably still beat it. It's possible we lose to it if that's what it is. But if they just go for Besiege line here, then they're just in the dirt. Could get them to remove Guy as well, but it's also possible that they just go for empty there. And stock up is looking great here. Tomb was a fine draw. Oh, wow. I'm glad I didn't stock up on turn 1. Grab Jewel. And I guess a Petal. And we'll pass. They have 1 card, 1 land. Best card they can draw is Thoughtseize. Did not. Lodestone, quite good. Could just play 2 of those. Kinda want a Jewel though. An embarrassment of riches over here. I will play Lodestone. And pass. Not gonna get through this guy. And we have a Force. And a 1-ring trigger. Card. An island. Will just copy the Lodestone. Good Jewel here. I mean, just not really a way to lose this. Alright, they're passing. Draw some cards, why not? Play City. Let's attack for 10. I'm just gonna hold up the Force because this game will end quicker. We're gonna draw a card and scoop. Obviously, we could pop off and draw our whole deck here. And we are 1-0 in round 2. Hey everyone, thanks for making it this far. Just wanted to thank everybody, and if you're looking for more, show you where you can find that. If you go to the description below, you can find all of my links. If you go further down in the comments, you can also find my links, which will bring you to my Patreon, various tiers for Discord access, early access, sideboard guides, donation decks, coaching sessions. You can also check out the podcast within those links, as well as my Twitch, where I do most of my content. You can see the commands that you can use in the chat. Let's say you do dono. You're wondering how to get a link, how to do it. Tells you right here. And the members Discord is within the Storm, MTG Storm community. And of course, it's always going to help if you hit the like and subscribe. So thanks again. Keep storming, y'all. All right, here we go. Round 2, we're on the play. And another really fast hand. That's a little fragile, but I'll take it. I could imprint Transmute, or I can use Petal to cast Monolith. I think I'm imprinting here. Also, it's really nice to have 2 non-wastelandable, non-magusable blue sources. And we play around Chalice. That is probably like the one downside about this list, is Chalice on 0, but we're still only playing 7 zeros. Like, that's not a massive number. We can operate under Chalice very easily, and there's actual 0/1 drops. Not like the 1 manifold key that you draw the second somebody goes Chalice on one. Just none. Alright, let's play Ancient Tomb and use it. Get Julian. Played a Wastes. What a waste. Double copy effect? Don't mind if I do. Let's copy a Jewel here. Draw 3. Admittedly not great. Let's see, if I got Engine here, I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4 left. I could then bounce a Chrome Mox, replay it, then I would get 3, 6. I have 7 mana, I wouldn't be able to cast Emrakul. So let's go for another Jewel, where it takes us. More copy effects, love it. Let's get casting. Draw 3 more. Show and tell not the best. Let's draw 3 more. Funny part of show and tell probably actually just wins by putting an Emrakul into play. But let's cast the Jewel. Oh, I didn't see that Metamorph. I would have cast that first instead. Okay, let's play another Metamorph. Draw 3. Another Metamorph. Draw another 3. There's the Transmute. Go get Engine. Cast the Lotus Petal. I'm just going to play Monolith, because then I can easily tap 5 Jewels and single click DME, which I would imagine will prompt a concession. Yes. But if you haven't seen it before, you can infinitely cast these Emrakuls, or a much quicker way is to just cast it, Otawara it, and then cast it, or copy something that puts, you know, 5 more power into play. But you can do it infinitely. You play Emrakul, you use Phyrexian Metamorph to copy it, and then you keep the copy, puts Emrakul back into your graveyard, which shuffles it into your deck, and then you draw back into it and cast it again. And you can just keep doing that. Alright, they had Waste. I'm assuming this is Eldrazi. Don't really know another deck that would play that. I think I want to just go without Force of Will. Play Dismembers and Chaos Defiler. I guess I can play a Golem. And we'll run it. The thing about Force of Will is it's, like, one of the best things they can do is no rot us. So you could play forces, you could even play extra forces. The problem is they're really bad against everything else that the deck is doing. Alright, 1 lander, we're not going to keep this. Turn 1 stock up. Let's go. Don't chalice me. They chaliced me. Alright. Not the end of the world. Not really doing much on 1. Of course, we draw a 0. It is possible that on the draw, you should just cut Petals and Chromoxin and play all the forces. I could accept that. Yep. There it is. I'm going off of previous heuristics for the deck. Although I guess with no Rod and play Chalice doesn't really matter, huh? So we're looking for another blue source, and I don't know what else, but we found the blue source. I guess another stock up is gonna be good. We're really close to putting Defiler into play, and the game is pretty much over. Now we can... Oh, that's actually helpful. Myco spawn. The Thought Knot. Okay. See if they want to take Transmute or if they want to take Sync. They should probably take Sync. I mean, either of them is a pretty good take. Okay. Oh, now we'll have to stock up again. I'm going to pay the life, because I do want to get Grim Monolith into play for a Transmute. So we'll stock up. Love to find a basic island. Show and Tell is interesting. No, I think I still don't want Show and Tell. Let's get Metamorph and City. Then I can go City, Monolith. Now, I mean, hopefully we just draw a blue source naturally. And hopefully this is not a kicked Myco spawn. Alright, they get in for 4. Lockup has been very good here. The only thing that's really given us a chance. We have kind of missed, but we've still got a shot. Well, good news is I can Metamorph copy a Thought Knot. What did they take? They took the stock up. Okay. That's actually good for us. Any blue sources? Yes. They're in huge trouble now. Go Sync. You do have to pay 3. Take 2 mana. Blue, blue. Transmute. Transmute away this Monolith. The Defiler. Pay 3. It triggers. Null Rod or Thought Knot? Let's kill a Thought Knot. Get to draw a card. Pass. Now, we could take 4. And then we can copy the Defiler next turn. Probably what we want to do. See what happens here. They have another Thought Knot. That's pretty bad for us. Flush Raker. Okay. It's a little bit scary. Into Flush Raker. Oh boy. Okay. Feel. Oh wow. Another spell. Now that's bad for us. Now we have to block. We can't get multiple Defilers going. Ooh, they didn't attack. That was good for us. Ancient Tomb. Make green. Make green. Play a Metamorph. Copy Defiler. I mean, obviously we're still in massive trouble. Let's kill Flush Raker. Kill Flush Raker. Pass. A lot of draws they could have that just kill us. But with 2 Flush Rakers, any, like, a Petal kills us. We have a lot of copy effects. Oh, that kills 2 things. Let's go Transmute. Transmute one of these Defilers away. Really haven't lived until you've done this. Then we get Metamorph. Copy Defiler. Both their things, start attacking. And we get to draw a card. Pretty wild. This is why we don't have, like, a board full of stuff to remove Null Rod. Because Defiler is just insane. With a bunch of copy effects. Okay, I'll play the city. Now we get to start attacking. Now, there's definitely still ways that this can go wrong, but now we have a lot of pressure. I like that. Just another land. That's great for us. Another copy effect. Love it. I'm going to use it. And get rid of this Null Rod. Get in for 10. And they have one draw. I don't think they have anything that could do it. Vugan is good. Not going to be enough. 1, 2, 3. Nope. They're going to kill themselves. It looks like they paid colorless for both of these, so they're going to take 4 damage if they keep doing it. Nope. Going to back one up and make green. Yep. Like, even if they have hasty 5/5, we have 4. We got a 4-butt. Very nice. We are undefeated. I'll see you in round 3. All right, round 3 here against Velgrim. What's up, Velgrim? Usually playing various Storm combo decks. We will keep this. We out here stocking up. Wish we had a Chrome Mox. Velgrim has mulligan to 6. Going to play a tapped Sink into Stupor and play out a Lotus Petal and pass the turn with the intent of stocking up next turn. Fire, key, Lions a diamond, pass. Alright. Fine with me. Monolith. I could Jewel. I think I'm going to. We're wondering, Tony, how are you going to Jewel? You only have 5. Well, Copy Artifact does a very good Grim Monolith impression. So now, we have 6. And we draw 3. I think I'm just going to stock up here. No, I guess if I Monolith first, then Copy Artifact and Transmute keep the chain going. Stock up. Did not find those things, but we still got a blue card going. Grab the stock up and One Ring. No copy effects. Play out this Lotus Petal and pass the turn. Let's see what they got for us. Repurposing Bay. Okay. We'll let that go. They're cracking LED. They do have Echo. Gonna repurpose. They like getting grid and then passing? No, Monolith, so that they can have a bit more mana. And counter this. Now they're kind of empty. They do have this Repurposing Bay. So I'm sure they've got some various action. But I think it would be tough for them to like really pop off over there. Play the Tomb and just untap one of these. Tomb doesn't deal damage to you when you have protection from everything. You can like use Monolith to play the ring and then use Tombs to untap the Monolith afterwards. They play a key. So that could get some See, my problem with this card is like if you have excess mana, it's not like not an X thing, right? You have to keep going up the chain. It's not like if you have a bunch of mana in this card, you can just get not like Transmute. You can't just all of a sudden get a Jewel. Curious as to what the 3-drop will be. Another Repurposing Bay. To sack the other Repurposing Bay to get a 4-drop, presumably a ring. Forge, okay. That's cool. That's fun. Right, we go to 16. We draw a copy effect. We have 3 copy effects. Pretty good. Let's go get engine. I will say yes. Hey, the difference. Play copy artifact. And I would imagine they will scoop. Okay. I mean, we've seen some blue cards, but they're playing Mystic Forge. I don't expect Force. They might have it out of the sideboard. That wouldn't, like, shock me. I'm not going to play Lodestone Golem. I will play the forces. And trim a Chromox. Maybe one show and tell. Maybe it's just show and tell. Yeah. Okay. Sand is great. Double horse. We have 4 mana and a jewel. We are looking good. We just counter monolith. They only have 3 cards. No, we'll let it go. We'll let Key go. Mox Opal. Repurposing Bay. I mean, I guess I'll counter it. It's not that scary, but get it out. Draw. Okay. That gives us a jewel on turn 3. Take those. Battle's fine. Might as well untap your monolith. I'll play Tomb. Here goes the monolith. We have another force and a jewel, so looking pretty good here. Salt monolith, you got it. One ring. Let's jewel. Let's jewel again. Let's get Paradox Engine. Play Lotus Petal. Play one ring. Draw a card. Castable? You don't say. Let's go ahead and play Grim Monolith. Draw 2 cards. Let's target Grim Monolith with Force of Negation. Draw 3 cards. Let's target Force of Negation with Force of Will. Let's draw 4 cards. Let that resolve. Let that resolve. We have 10 mana. That Lotus Petal. They've scooped. Sure have. Well, we have not dropped a game. 204-060. See you in round 4. All right, here we go. Round 4 against the Daddy, who is one of the Dredge experts. Old-time Dredge player. We've got a force. We got a show and tell into a jewel with copy. I mean, I'm in for this. We can stock up if we need to, but honestly, we're probably going to be casting force. We're going to pitch the stock up, and then we're just going to turn to a jewel and potentially win off of it. Go ahead and play Otawara and pass. They kept on 7. It's pretty scary. Oh, the old LED start. 8 cards, and they lead on LED. I'm going to let it go. I think it's high odds they have a second one. Yeah, there's the looting. Counter this one, and then they can flash it back. Or you can let it go and counter the flashback. You see fewer cards before being able to flashback if you counter this one. So I'm going to counter this one. Last time I countered their LED, they had a second one. This time, ooh, they are passing, though. That is great for us. It's a Paradox Engine. Show and tell. Cool. Put in Coliseum, not a creature, notably. Yeah, I'm gonna transmute here. And I'm gonna go for another jewel. Okay, that's pretty good. Play the monolith. Let's go for another jewel. More stock ups. Ooh. Now we can cast Engine. There's another bonus of having more 0 drops in the deck. Makes Engine better. Honestly, not much use imprinting here. Now we can just play one ring. Card. Play stock up. 2 cards. Let's stock up resolve. Grab 2 spells. And they're scooping, right? Feels like they're scooping. Yes. Alright. To sideboarding we go. Probably want lodestones and more forces. Cut the Emrakul. Cut the show and tells. Trim jewel. Trim 2 jewels. Stock up. And a Chromox. Let's try that. If we can like force their first play and then play a turn 1 lodestone, that is definitely a way that we can win. Yeah, I can't really say no to this. Alright, they mulliganed once, they kept on 6. I think them being on 6 cards instead of 8, I'm willing to counter an LED. Really hoping they don't have a second one. Just passing. They're fetching. Doing. Getting their F6 on. We drew a blue card, so that's good. I got the monolith. And pass the turn. Or Worldly Gaze. Could counter this. I'm going to. And hopefully they're kind of stuck here. Take a draw if they don't have a second land, or like a looting. Be in trouble, but they found a looting. Found a dredger. They have another land. Oh, careful study. Come on, miss. Not miss. They found an Archamoeba. They do not have a Cabal Therapy. Right, we need this ring to get a move on here. Let's cast it. Draw. We really need to hit like a lodestone off of that ring. That would have been sick. But this is going to be a tough one. Let's see. Now they can looting. Not easy to beat Dredge when you don't have any actual graveyard hate. Just forces. Pretty tough. Maybe, I think I want to bring Show and Tells back in. They're gonna Ox. Dredge a bunch. They've got another Dread return. Or I'm sorry, they didn't use a Dread return, they just cast it. Now they will. River Kelpie. Another Narcomoeba. Means they get to Dredge again. Dredge again. I believe we're dead. There's another Dread return. And they can make a Thassa's Oracle. Yep. Alright. Finally dropped a game. I don't see anything, any sort of interaction from them, or, you know, no forces, no ley lines, nothing like that. I mean, there's no ley lines that really are good against us, but just the race. I think I want my Show and Tells back on the play. Means I want my jewels. If Magic Online would let me grab them. I could just cut the forces. Now that we're on the play, Lodestones could definitely do some work. Put the Chromox back in. And stock up. Basically, we have Lodestones. Let's trim a stock up. Really a tough call. Let's trim one of the Show and Tells. One Chromox. Submit. Maybe I should be on Force Negation instead of Force of Will. It's usually better, but it's too late. They do have that one instant speed enabler. Tend to cast on our turn. Alright, we're on the play. Got a turn 2 Lodestone. No force. Think we can do better? Let's try to do better. This is a turn 2 Lodestone or ring with a force. So I will keep. Bottom the pedal. Play a City and pass. That's a Lion's Eye Diamond. They kept on 7. Here we go again. I'm gonna let it go. I think they've got too many cards in hand to be countering an LED. Yep, and there's the second one. Do wish I had Force Negation instead of Force of Will. Please be a blue enabler, yes. Tracking LED. For red, but they don't have any looting. That's very good for us. Now we get to counter this. I think we start on ring. A really tough call. In Dredge 6, if they find Faithless Looting, even with a Lodestone in play, they can still flash it back. Yeah, let's ring. We gotta hope they don't find Faithless Looting. Sure did. And they got a Narcomoeba. Chooses not to use the ability. Oh, because they're gonna cast Ox. Okay, we are reasonably likely to be dead here. Still think playing Lodestone would have been bad, right? Because we would have drawn stock, like odds that we do anything else at that point are pretty slim, and they still would have been able to cast things. Them having 2 Lion's Eye Diamonds was really bad for us. Yeah, they put Trolls back in. Oh, they can cast Ox again. Now we're dead. Okay, here comes Ox. Dredge, Dredge, Dredge. And we got Dread returns. They still have 3 creatures. Foxwalkers. Well, therapy themselves. They've double Dread returns, so we're actually dead. Yeah, that's rough. I mean, I don't really expect a lot of Dredge, obviously. There's a couple of dedicated Dredge players. And we still have plenty of game against it. But we dropped a 3-1, see you in the final round. Alright, here we go, final round. We are on the draw. Our opponent has mulligan to 6. I believe we're going to mulligan this hand. Alright, this one is slow. It would be a lot better if we drew a Chromox. But I'll keep it. We do have a turn 1 monolith. Oh, we're playing against Oopsal spells and we're dead. That's Cabal Ritual. And we're dead. All right, we'll go to game 2. It's actually a pretty good matchup for us. We have a lot of forces, and Lodestone is ridiculously good against them. Lodestones come in. Forces come in. Emrakul comes out. Show and Tells come out. A couple Jewels come out. And a couple Chromoxin come out. And run it. One of the nice things is that if they try to do a creature juke, it just doesn't really fly. Obviously, we still have forces, but we can copy creatures with Metamorph. We have Lodestones. Sink into Stupor. They're using rituals. Alright, we will take the play. This hand doesn't do anything. And as a force of negation. About it, though. Actually gonna mulligan to 5. This hand is a turn 1 ring. I mean, I'm not gonna go to 4. It's good against, like, slower discard hands that they would keep. Or if we draw force, that would be good. Kept on 6. Let's go ahead and cast that 1 ring. Didn't draw force. Good chance we're actually just dead. Land is untapped. We don't like that. Balrit. Barrogoyf. See? That's not likely to get there for them. I mean, it could get there. It's possible. Oh boy. Do I want to pay 5 to stock up? I think the answer is no. Play this tapped. Pass. They're not going to combo kill us. Yet, at least. I mean, I guess they could, but really unlikely. Well, therapy us. There's no way they're going to name Lodestone. Probably name, I don't even know, another 1 ring so that we can't ring walk. Well, I got news for you, OP. We got a lot of copy effects. Now, they do get some value here. Well, they might get some value. Let's see. Get to mill 3. Finding Barrogoyf. Slasher. Probably pick up another Barrogoyf. I took the Slasher. Okay. And we go to 12. Transmute, draw 3. Interesting. I think we just Jewel here. I could go Monolith, Petal, Blue, Transmute, Ring away, get a Jewel. Okay. Let's Transmute again. The other Jewel. There we go. Play City. Mana, we have 7, so we can go Engine. Copy Artifact. And they're super dead. 3. Cast a stock up. Tap our mana. Grab spell plus spell. Play Chromox. Imprint a Stupor. Sure, why not? Let's bounce the Barrogoyf. Let's go find some Phyrexian Metamorphs so we can copy these golems. Metamorph. Monolith. Any order. Play a Monolith. Play Golem. Play a Golem. Play a Metamorph on Golem. Cast stock up. Get another Lodestone. Copy Artifact. Play a Copy Artifact. Golem. And play another Golem. Guess I'll play a 1 ring. And now it's your turn. Alright, if I had to guess, they're not going to go with the creature plan again, but they might. I think we're just good enough against it where we run it back. Could play a Defiler, play some number of Dismembers, but their main plan is still the most threatening thing. Alright, I'll keep this. Snap off a force on a Dark Writ. Sometimes you want to counter Petal too, because they could go Spirit Guide. We got kind of lucky there. Usually want to at least think about it. Right, it is going to give us a turn. Find a stock up. I'm going to cast this stock up here. A lot of looks at another force is one of the benefits of this card. Did find a forced negation. And maybe another blue card. Let's do that. Order. Wasn't a force of will, so we could just be dead here. Yep. Especially if they have a spirit guide. Okay, they don't. What do you want to draw here? That wasn't it. Alright, so we gotta copy this thing and target them. The activation. And then we can force of negation their memories journey. I think we just win. This is not the first time I've won this way against them, but it is a very unique scenario. Now they gotta cast Journey. They got Jack-o'-lantern. Make green. Cast Journey. Then get forced. Pitch the, I don't know, copy artifact. So in these matchups, what you just saw was stock up, where we use the force, we have a stock up, and we have to like use a pedal to stock up. But we have a blue card and we just get 5 looks at force. That is actually a frequent occurrence in this matchup. Or at least it keeps coming up, and I've only played a handful of matches with it. So the card has been very impressive. But now they have no cards in library and they should be dead. And hilarious, GG's. It was pretty funny. It happened on stream once, and I think that was the first time it happened. It was pretty funny, but I guess I'm used to it now. But it is kind of a rare situation. Okay, so another convincing 4-1 with a very close match loss. With a lot of not very close wins. That was a pretty close match. But the first 3 were kind of a landslide. This league felt very similar to the one that I played last night, which is, to sum it up, Jewel is just in. We're in. This deck is looking just so much better. All thanks to stock up. This card is the real deal for this deck. We got to use our whole sideboard too, except for Dismember. So I'm going to keep jamming. We'll see if any changes come up, but I don't really expect it. It feels like I want 62 cards in the main deck. Like, I would love to have a 4th Chrome Mox, but obviously that's a little clunky for obvious reasons. And I would like to have the 4th Show and Tell, but we got to cut something. My very first list had 15 land and 4 Show and Tell, but one of the Show and Tells is the card I chose to cut. Run 1 more island so that we're running 16 lands, which I think that's right. Yeah, not much else to say. Stock up is good. Very good. So stay tuned for the next one. See y'all then.